freedom of speech is not without any consequences. Everyone in India knows right now the spat between Abhinav Kashyap and Salman Khan, which has been going on for months now, where Abhinav Kashyap has been issuing interviews on social media. इस केस में अभी या इस पैट में अभी इंटरेस्टिंग टर्न आया है. देयर हैज बीन अ कोर्ट जजमेंट ओवर दिस एंड I have with me someone who was who is the person probably one he needs, when you have your reputation on the line, Mr. Pradeep Gandhi. Thank you, Pradeep sir, for joining and really.
Thank you for inviting me in this podcast.
Thank you, Pradeep ji. And I'm sure आज इस अपने podcast में people will learn more about this law. And at last, I think the Indian law is catching up with this fast-moving social media
Yes.
trends and trolling and this all. So thank you so much. So Pradeep sir, so what is the latest on this? अभी कुछ latest में कुछ हुआ है?
The latest is that Salman Khan was observing since September about the podcast and the interview given by Abhinav Kashyap on YouTube channel in a channel called Bollywood Thikana, and that interview was taken thereby. And after that, because of that podcast, and he has made such horrible derogatory statements and used such loose words which a common prudent man would not use, at least on a social media. He may speak before his friends privately, that's okay, but he has given an interview on social media, and due to this, that Bollywood Thikana has, which was having only a viewership of hardly few thousands and subscription, went to 16.5 million after that interview. And taking advantage of the spice and the drama, the YouTube channel has, the Bollywood Thikana made clips of it and started posting it as reels. And some of the influencers who are Bollywood influencers have taken more advantage and prepared their own reels by themselves and started posting on Instagram and other social media websites and trying to get influence and getting it more juicy. And every viewer in the country would like to have some juicy news, find some dhamaka, and they like to read it and enjoy that clip, and that's how it was happening.
Right.
Due to this situation, we waited for a few months thinking that we'll send a notice to him requesting for an apology. We sent a notice, there was no reply. Then we sent a notice to YouTube, told them to please request to take down this video because it is derogatory and defamatory in nature. But YouTube said, sorry, we cannot remove it out. If you want, you go to court of law. And if the court says remove it out, we will remove it out. Finally, we had no other option but to come and file a suit in January 2026. And we immediately applied for urgent relief, requesting the court to stop this gentleman from posting any further defamatory articles or videos or clips or reels in any form which are causing defamation and filthy language for Salman Khan and his family members.
Right. Interesting. So, but Pradeep sir, this has become now, probably this will become a cornerstone case where a disgruntled person cannot just go on a social media and cause a disrepute. And it is not just one slip of tongue. There has been multiple videos released with a specific intent, which Abhinav himself confirmed that he's using this exactly to against someone. Now, it took so long. Couple of interviews when it came, they were explosive in nature, of course. I mean, as you rightly said, people were making reels out of it, and at the cost of someone's reputation. Again, we don't personally, obviously, we don't have insight to what went between, why the disgruntled Abhinav Kashyap and all. But the point over here is, can someone imagine a situation where we as an employer have an employee who or someone has a dispute among some professional engagement, and one guy goes on YouTube and actually family, person, and personal aspects which are not involved in the actual professional aspect keep saying, and there hasn't been much been done, and there hasn't been many cases here. So that's why people are taking it lofty. It was kind of a lofty way of just saying things on social media and hurting people. But इतना time क्यों लगा इसको?
I'll be honest and candid. Salman Khan was informed in September, October about these videos. He kept quiet. He said, "Ke this man seems to be frustrated. I don't want to spoil dirty linen and go to courts of law."
Right.
And we waited for some reasonable time. We thought that better sense would prevail, but he kept on taking more advantage and posting more clips and reels, due to which it became very nasty and bad. And that is why he first issued a notice to them requesting them to take down. It's called a takedown notice.
Yeah.
That notice was given, he did not reply.
Right.
Then we finally had to take this decision. In the meantime, in the month of December, uh, uh, if you are just aware, what is something called a personality rights. Personality rights are rights of a person who is popular and famous in the world and has got certain his own name and fame because of his personality,
Right.
and they are being invaded nowadays due to AI technology, deepfake and deepfake videos and other things.
Interesting.
So it has become now a common procedure that any popular personality whose names are being just frivolously shown, or his videos are shown without his consent, needs to be action needs to be taken. And
Right.
therefore he approached the Delhi High Court for protecting his personality rights. And Mr. Salman Khan was granted relief by the Delhi High Court, where the court passed a gag order as directing the world in general that they cannot post any such videos which are either AI videos, deepfake videos, or anything which is invading his privacy without his consent. That order was passed almost a month back. That was in December, and that's why we were focusing
Right.
more in Delhi High Court in the month of December, due to which there was a bit of a delay, and we finally decided to apply in the court on in January, and which we have done.
Interesting, Pradeep sir, and thank you so much. This is so insightful. So again, just to learn, because this is going to be the norm now. So, abhi, people are moving away from Google and all search engines and all. Everything is going through AI, and probably even every business house is going to have a content making team, because that is the only way of reaching to customers. But at the same time, the other way, the sword का दूसरा edge ये है कि the same can be used to disrepute someone or to bring down competitors and all. This is very important. So you are saying that कि अभी कुछ नया चीज आया है जिसमें कि एक personality जो कि with a certain reputation, not necessarily from the film, it can be any other personality,
Any
political
field.
and all, they can go and actually take a gag saying कि hey, without my consent मेरी आवाज, मेरा इमेज, मेरा ये ट्रेड्स आप यूज नहीं कर सकते. बट इस केस में तो सर उन्होंने इंटरव्यूज दिए उनके खिलाफ, तो ये उसमें कैसे रेलेवेंट बनता है?
No, I'll explain to you. First and foremost, the most primary right is called invasion of personality rights.
ओके.
So, as lawyers, we advise them to first go to Delhi High Court and protect their invasion of personality rights.
राइट.
And that order, gag order, was granted easily by the court of law. And then we approached Bombay
राइट.
because this interview was done in Bombay,
या.
and a YouTube channel is in Bombay, and Mr. Salman Khan is in Bombay, and that's how we decided. So when we argued the matter before the court of law yesterday, I had to explain to the court what is the meaning of personality rights, and I was armed with another order called personality rights order to protect his personality, due to which the court was further influenced, and court said very clearly, okay, yes, you have already got an order of personality rights, and therefore it is all the more important to protect your personality, and no one has a right to defame you, and therefore court granted a gag order.
राइट. राइट. इंटरेस्टिंग सर, बिकॉज एक कॉमन मैन के लिए तो ये अगेन कोर्ट इटसेल्फ इज, बट नाउ द लैंडस्केप इज चेंजिंग इन सो मेनी वेज because the society and again the social media etc. Now there is a new churn of understanding and interpreting the law and knowing your rights as a person. So which is probably, this case is probably one of the examples for it. So so when you had a court argument, what were the kind of a specific pieces used to show that there is a what disrepute caused or a personal harm, or which were the statements? Because he said a lot of things. I mean, some of the things, even ki ye jihadi hai, even father and all. I know we have seen, all have seen, but as a viewer, as an audience, as a general public, ऐसे कौन से स्टेटमेंट थे जहां पे रेड लाइन क्रॉस होगी और वही स्टेटमेंट की वजह से जजमेंट आया है?
When we filed such a suit, we have to point out in our pleadings, in our plaint, as to what are the defamatory words. Those defamatory words have been specifically written by us and made a mention about which was the minute on which it was shown on the YouTube channel,
Right.
including the words were printed and typed and shown to the judge. And I don't need to explain those words, would not be good to be opened in public domain because it's already up in public domain. But today, as his lawyer, I would not like to use such derogatory words which would further tarnish his
Of course.
image, but they were explicitly derogatory in nature. Means I cannot even tell you some words, and in fact, I was trying to show that to the court what are the bad words where some
Yes.
foul language was used, and I told the judge, please read it, please read it. On that basis, the judge read it and he realized that this is something wrong which cannot be done, and that's how the court intervened and granted it. According to me, the whole story is that Mr. Abhinav Kashyap was appointed as a director for Dabang by Arbaz Khan, his brother. And some things must have happened. I do not know. We all don't know what is the whole issue. But Mr. Arbaz Khan was not happy with the directorial and his way of dealing with situations. And it could be the vice versa also. We do not know.
Yeah.
And due to which, in a more reluctant manner, the film was completed. But from that day onwards, Mr. Abhinav Kashyap was never appointed as a director of any films of either Salman Khan or their family. Seems like there seems to be a frustration,
Yeah.
and that frustration has erupted into such foul language and derogatory words in the form of giving bad words to Salman Khan and trying to disrepute him and defame him in an open social media platform.
Right, I understood, sir. And it is such an irony that again, such a great person with good potential of making such a great movie, they had a professional conflict, and then it ended up being in this case. However, in between, Salman Khan himself tried to dose it off in some Big Boss introductions and all. Even that, as an audience, again, I'm not taking any position. I'm saying we could see that Salman is trying to dose it off, saying that hey, just mind your own business, stop doing all this, and still it is going on. And in the end, now the court verdict. Now, how will this court verdict help in future, or how will this will be the learning for the future in terms of similar situations?
No, I'll just explain to you. First and foremost, uh, we are all governed by our constitution. There is something called freedom of speech, but the freedom of speech cannot go to an extent where you can use filthy language and defame someone.
Yes.
Therefore, there is something called reasonable restriction
Right.
to a freedom of speech. So, if you have a freedom of speech, you also have to be reasonably restricted to your words and be very careful and cautious of the words you use, where you should not defame someone's name and image. Now, therefore, that's where the defamation comes. Defamation
Right.
comes into an act called the law of torts, TORTS.
Okay.
The law of torts explains that what is the meaning of a defamation is if you're trying to ridicule or disparage someone in front of a normal, common minded man with prudent common sense, it would amount to defamation. And defamation can be defined into two acts, two portions. One is called civil defamation
Right.
and one is called criminal defamation.
Right.
Civil defamation can be in the form of damages. So we have filed a suit of around 9 crore rupees asking for damages from Abhinav Kashyap,
Right.
and we are asking for an injunction which we have already got that he should not post any further videos, which we have already got as a
Right.
first stage. The second stage, we will be making an endeavor before the court for taking down that YouTube channel.
Right.
So the court has given the other side ample opportunity to file an affidavit and put their pleadings and put their defense, and court will hear us maybe in a month's time
Right.
uh, on the point of takedown. It's called a takedown notice.
Right.
So if on the second round of arguments, as and when they arise, the my endeavor before the court would be to make sure that the court passes an order directing YouTube and or
Right.
Abhinav Kashyap or the YouTube channel to remove and take down that video which is still on a public domain.
Right. Right.
Even today, in spite of a gag order, anyone can go to the YouTube channel that Bollywood Thikana and see that video,
Right.
and it is making more and more being more and more explicit, because after today's gag order there are so many people who may be not having knowledge about what is
Exactly.
this order, what is there, and they will 101% now go to Bollywood Tekana, which will add more juice and more spice and more views,
What an
and
irony.
due to which he will earn more money, because I don't need to explain to you,
Yeah.
YouTube goes on the policy. Their earnings goes on the policy of the more the subscribers, the more the views, the more the person who's running that channel gets paid.
True, true, true.
So our endeavor would be to ensure a takedown, which
Yeah,
will be the second stage of the order of the case,
right,
and the final stage of the case would be to explain to the court at the stage of trial, which will be a long drawn process. It may take 5-10 years
right.
for damages. Now damages we have asked for 9 crore, which is just a formality. I'm
Yeah,
sure that such a big film personality doesn't even mind whether it is 9 crore or 9 rupees or 900 crores.
yeah, yeah,
But importance is to teach him a lesson
yeah.
that you cannot take law for granted. You cannot tarnish
Yeah.
anyone's image in social
Without
media.
consequences, yeah. How does this 9 crore number comes? It is just a random.
Now I'll explain to you.
Yeah,
See, I'm practicing in city civil and sessions court. So every court has got a financial limited jurisdiction. So my court has a jurisdiction up to 10 crore rupees. So
right,
anything below 10 crore would be allowed to be entertained in my court,
right,
and anything above 10 crore will have to go to Honorable High Court.
right,
And Honorable High Court has a jurisdiction of unlimited. You can file 200 crore, 500 crore, 1000 crore,
right.
and there is no limit in the Honorable High Court.
So,
But the legal advisors thought it fit and proper that instead of going to a higher court and consuming more time and money there,
right,
they've thought it fit and proper to approach me, and keeping my in mind my past experiences with Salman Khan and their family. I have attended several such matters. So they reposed trust and faith in me and said, nothing doing, sir. We want you only. We want you to appear, and we want you to appear only in your court. We do not mind on the jurisdiction point of view and the monetary aspect point of view.
interesting. Again, that also shows that 9 crore is just a number operationally selected and not
Absolutely.
necessarily that people are after money. It's just about the reputation they
Yes.
really care about. And
Correct.
thank, yeah, it's understood. I hope again, as YouTubers and again people who are holding such platforms and all to learn from out of all of this and actually understand that there are consequences to irresponsible
Just to keep you all informed, it's obviously in India, our civil rights are violated on a regular day to day basis. But by efflux of time, due to technology and India changing drastically, the law of defamation is being seen very seriously, taken very seriously. And in the last 10 years, it has changed drastically. Such type of laws were never developed more than 50-10 years before. No one used to even look into it. But keeping in mind the social media influence and the number of viewers, nowadays I don't need to tell anyone that all the social medias, namely Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere, the channels, including the advertisements, and even people are selling their products there. So
yeah,
everything is now social media.
right,
Keeping in mind the complete influence of social media all over the country, and which is available to everyone on hand nowadays,
right,
keeping in mind the data is so cheap in India.
yeah, yeah.
So therefore, this has enhanced by
Yeah.
efflux of time.
True, true. But thank you so much, sir. We will keep an eye on how this pans out. But it is so interesting to know that there are so many changes to how operationally you have to work with law and make sure your client and this case is fought in a right way. Pradeep sir, I hope you don't have to fight too many of these and cases, but it will end up being that you will become an expert of actually such type of cases because this is truly an insightful session to learn from you all about how to go ahead and actually, as an audience, people were wondering because one interview came where his shirt was little open, then next time he was better prepared, second interview, and the frequency was so, and the language, and it was so explosive, people were wondering, is it that this doesn't go into jurisdiction? Again, common people like us with no knowledge, but now after learning from you, now we know that actually it's question of getting it right in terms of knowing the law and your rights and having a right lawyer and advocate like you in between to take care of the course proceedings. But thank you so much, sir. It was so insightful, and thank you so much for providing your time and advice. Anything else you want to say before we depart, sir?
Uh, some good words saying that defamation has been enhanced a lot in our country, and I wish the best for Salman Khan and for you. I hope and pray that your channel gets more viewerships,
Thank you.
courtesy me and other things, and all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.